and every 40 minutes we have to restart the session, right? So, okay, last lesson is the genetics. This is the last lesson for the unit 1, right? Uh, okay, what we going to learn in genetics? What is genetics? What does it mean for you? Uh, it seems to be not so strange because uh, we have some idea about the gene. So it's something to do with gene. Then what we wanted to know about genetics, everything is based on this DNA molecule. So the DNA molecule is a huge molecule, and all collectively all DNA inside the nucleus divided into special segments, and the specific area of this DNA molecule is called gene. So far, what is known fact from the scientists, gene can give codes for protein, and collectively all proteins uh, made the organism and the function of the organism. That means if you go to the gene level, so gene is all the information which can create the organism and the function. It's something like now we use this computer. The computer system is completely written by the codes. It has operating system, and it has different softwares. So all the informations are somewhere we can find in the computer. It's something like that. And the computer, physical computer body, what we can see as a laptop or whatever, is the complete body. But in this case, what is different? The gene can also make the body. Gene can also make the operating system through the controlling the protein expression. And another thing is, if this organism try to increase the number of organisms, then what is existing, the standard method is the reproduction. In the reproductions, the genetic materials coming from male and coming from female, and the genetic material mix, and the new organisms is formed. And the new organisms, some of the informations coming from male, just like a 50% around, and some of the information coming from female, it's again like a 50%. So this will continue the life, and eventually the all genetic informations are mixed. So mixing, for example, after that this person or next generation, they also wanted to make a new generation. So something is coming from new genetic background. As a result, human genes, what is existing in this world, are continuously mixed, and finally they are existing in vast amount of genes. So that's a study of this complete flow of the genes, and how these genes are mixing, and how these genes are interacting. We're going to learn under genetics. That means codes, information and codes, how it's flowing in a population and the changes what it make us different, right? Okay, I save these slides and everything for these others that they can use it. Any questions? No, right? Okay, then we start what we have to learn first. Okay, number one, the DNA molecule is a huge and long molecule. So how this molecule can pack inside the nucleus? This nucleus, the DNA going to compress. So after it compress, it creates this kind of a molecule. And these molecules compress with the help of proteins. So I show proteins, different color, like the red color, like this, right? So this compression molecule has one DNA, another one a protein. And this molecule is called chromosome. And as you have noticed, the 50% of genetic information coming from father or mother, and another 50% is coming from male and female. I said like then human chromosome number is 46. That means there are 46 DNA molecules, and the 46, one coming from father, half coming from mother. And once it comes, they exist like this. This is a one chromosome, and this is another chromosome. Right. Then this information, right? These informations are stored inside this chromosome. This is one set of chromosomes. Okay, let's see like this. Just to understand now, the father has a dark skin. The mother has, I would say white. So black or white. Then if the person has one of this skin color, then the skin color, the gene which make the skin color, that may be somewhere here. Let's say this is the gene, and in front of that we can see the similar gene. So we call this a homologous chromosome. Homologous chromosomes. That means the pair, right? So they are existing in pairs. The chromosome existing in pairs, one is coming from father, one is coming from mother. This is coming from father, this is coming from mother. And if we look at the chromosomes, like I draw this one like this. This is a one chromosome, and this is another chromosome. So these are the homologous chromosomes. In homologous chromosome, we can find genes like this. So many genes are located like this. And if we take a gene here, in front of that, similar gene is there. Right? So, why this two genes. These two genes are responsible for same character. Example, we take this one. This gene responsible for the hair color. This gene also responsible for hair color. This gene comes from father. Let's say it's a black. This gene comes from the mother. Let's say it's a brown. So person has a black and brown gene. But do you know that you don't see half black, half brown hairs. But you can see nowadays because of the coloring, but naturally it's not existing. Right? Then one decide the hair color. So if one decide the hair color, we call it dominant. So we call it dominant because hair color comes from out of two genes, one gene.
So what if this color is tan? Like if you're darker, father is darker and mom is fair, you become tan.
Okay. If you see the dark person and the dark skin and the fair skin, what is the skin color of the children? So we have basic genetics, and then we have advanced genetics. Now basic genetics, it is existing. It's very simple to understand. First, we are learning the basic genetics, right? Then, unit 2, we have a slightly advanced genetics. And then a slightly advanced genetic, we're going to learn one character. Now here, in basic genetic, we have a kind of a standard one character. In genetic, this character is called a phenotype. The phenotype is the physical appearance, what we can see, right? The character, and sometimes it's also called trait. These words are more or less same trait, character, but it's mostly called this phenotype. One phenotype has one gene. Here basic genetic, we say one gene make one character. And two genes existing in one person, and we call them alleles. Alleles are the alternative version of the genes, right? So there are two versions available, and we call them alleles. Genetics, one of the important things is they have a special words. So you have to learn this word, you have to understand this word. And sometimes it's worth to by heart remember the definition of the words. What is allele? Allele is an alternative version of the genes. What is phenotype? Phenotype is a physical appearance of the genes. And then this is called existing of these two genes, right? Now, coming to the dominant, right? One can make the hair color, so we call it dominant. And we can write the hair color like say black, we give a capital letter B. And now this one is not existing. The brown hair is not existing in the person. So if you take that person, and the hair color is black, then what is the role of brown gene? Brown gene is not do anything. We call it recessive. So then it's we write simple B. Recessive one is writing simple B. Right? Then we can write this genes, capital B, simple B. So we write like this, write the genes for the hair color, then we write this person has capital B, simple B. And this is called genotype. Genotype is combination of alleles. Dominant is the one express. Recessive is not express. Allele is alternative version. Phenotype is the physical form. Now, these are the one of the most important terms. You should first understand and know the meaning. But still, if you feel some kind of a doubt, if you feel some complication, you can clarify. The advanced genetic, we will also learn one phenotype has several genes. That means the color is decided by combination of many genes. So that means one phenotype has several genes, and they all combine to make the color. Certain phenotypes are like that, especially the skin color. The skin colors are many different. But if you see one phenotype, this phenotype is already existing or not existing, right? For example, okay, we come to later on that, right? You need to copy this one. It may when you copy this one, if you have a doubt, still you can clarify, right? Yeah, the first page. I don't get which chromosome.
Trait,
One character or trait, which is called phenotype, has one gene. That's a basic genetic. We come up like that. One gene, one character. This one, alternative version of genes. Let's say this one is a capital A. This sorry, it should be capital B, and this one is simple B. This capital B is simple B. Okay, allele is the alternative forms of a gene. Dominant, uh, that mean observed character. That means what is we can see. Recessive character of an organism that can be masked by the dominant. That means we don't see this one. It is in the genes, but we don't see the phenotype. The homologous is the pair of chromosomes, they existing in pairs, right? Right now, in the previous example, we can take the hair color black, capital B, and then we don't use another letter, we use a simple letter of this one for the brown, right? So this is a black, and that's a brown. And selection of this letter for the phenotype, there's no standard, but basically we would like to get something, a letter which is quite clear with the capital and simple form. For example, if you take a S and the simple version also like this, so then it's the size of the letter can distinguish what is capital S or simple S. As a result, we take A, B, D, E, these characters, right? But we can find three different forms: capital B, capital B, capital B, simple B, simple B, simple B. A person can exist like this. A person can also exist like this. A person can also exist like this. So in these two forms, this is black. But this one is brown. And we use a special term for this one. Homozygous dominant. Homozygous means both same. This is same, this is same. And this one is homozygous recessive. And this one is heterozygous. So, homozygous, heterozygous, phenotype, genotype. So these are the basic definitions we should remember from the very beginning, right? So if you want, you can also add this, you can also write what is homozygous dominant, homozygous recessive. Recessive is 1 0. Okay, let's see now how these genes are mixing and what will happen in the flow of the genes in the populations. Okay, uh, we take very simple example. We take a plant. Uh, this plant has a blue color flowers, and the other one has white color flowers. If we assume the blue color given by a gene, then the blue color gene exists capital P, and this is dominant, and this one is a recessive. Right. Now the plant of the blue color flowers cross with the plant of white color. Right. So if if we see that capital B and this side is also capital B and this side is a simple B, right? Another important thing, all the cells in the body, they have a complete chromosome number, right? They have a complete chromosome number. That means if we take a cell, the chromosomes existing in pairs like this, and if we take this one, so we can find like human, we can have 46 chromosomes, 23 pairs. The chromosome number is different from species to species. Plant, animal, different animals, the chromosome number is changing. So we can find now this gene, capital B here, capital B here, and simple B here, simple B here. Right? That's a capital B, and this one is a capital simple B, simple B. So when organism is reproducing, the cells of the reproductive systems are called the gametes. The gametes are the reproductive cells, and these reproductive cells are two types. One is the ovum, other one is the sperm cell. So when these cells are creating, they get only the half of the chromosomes, right? So they get the half of the chromosomes. That means if this cell is making the gametes, so it make a one gamete cell and another gamete cells. Then get a half of the chromosome. Here is the one, and here is the one. So that's capital B here, capital B here. So they're separated to make the gametes. And same thing happened here. Simple B, simple B. So when the gametes form, chromosome number is half. So then the chromosome. Okay, this is called monohybrid cross. Mono mean we are talking about one character. Could be a blue O. The flower color is the character, right? So hybrid mean always two join with each other to make the next generation. Now the blue flower and the white flower plants fuse together and they exchange the genes. So this is the way they exchange the genes, resulting all flowers are blue color. This is a simplest example of genetics, how information is going to the next generation. Can you copy this under the monohybrid cross? Yeah, monohybrid cross. Done? Okay. And if you understand the basic process of this genetic information flowing and exam, we have to draw a genetic diagram. So genetic diagram, we have to include these components. First one is a phenotype of parents. Second one, genotype of parents. Third one, gametes. Fourth one, yeah, the combination of gametes. Yeah, it's a very basic genetics, right? We have to use a special diagram for that. We call it a Punnett square. And the number 5, uh, phenotype of offspring. That's a generation like a F is the first generation filial. It's called filial. Number 6, probability. So you should include these components to get the full marks of this example. If we take the previous example, and in the previous example, if we take the flower, we had all capital B, simple B, right? So we had the whole capital B, simple B. Now we take this capital B, simple B for this example. This is a blue. This is again blue. A genotype, capital B, simple B, capital B, simple B. And we make this cross to show that we're going to cross. And the gametes are capital B, simple B, capital B, simple B. And the Punnett square, we make this square shape like this, and we show these gametes here, capital B, simple B, capital B, simple B. Then the genotypes of the offspring is capital B, and this, capital B, simple B, this and this, this and this, capital B, simple B, this and this. So this is combination. Then we have a capital B, capital B, capital B, simple B, capital B, simple B, simple B, simple B. So this is blue and this is a white. So getting white, the probability is 1 in 4, 0.25. So this is the complete genetic diagram, and you get 4 marks if you use this genetic diagram for given question. Right? So can you copy this one on the genetic diagram? And also, most of these things are very basic. You have done in O level. Even London syllabus, O level they do these basic genetics. So it's not a new things, but anyway we revising it. Okay, I will go to the next one. Important things. There is something called codominance. The meaning of codominance are uh, if we take like a assumption, we take the previous one like this, the blue color, and the other one is a white color. So if we cross this one, we should get either blue or white. But if we get something in between, like a light blue, then this is the phenotype, which is not like this, which is not like this. So in this case, we say both genes expressed. Both genes expressed, right? It's like this. Let's say we write the color C, uh, capital B, and here color simple B, simple B. So we get the new version, color capital B, simple B. So in this case, both genes express to get this new phenotype like this is called codominance. There is an exception of the previous one. It is always one gene they express character, but here both genes express. Now we are trying to learn the genetic is not that simple. It is many things advancing. This is one example. It is not happening always like that we discussed. So likewise, we have so many differences coming up. Example is codominance, both expressed, right? Can you also copy this down under codominance? Okay. Right. Another thing common in the genetics is called pedigree diagrams. Pedigree diagrams, let's try to learn it by doing this question. Okay, this is the example of a pedigree diagram. What it shows, the round shaped one is a female, right? It represents the female, and the square shape is a male. And this is the marriage, and after that, this shows the number of children. A female and a female. And this is another example. This female married with another male and they have 3 children. So likewise we can show the family history and the number of children by drawing this kind of a diagram. And we include something like this. The dark shaded area shows a disease. And here again a disease. I mean one disease, right? We talk about this one disease called Tay-Sachs disease. It's a disease caused by the change of the genes. It's coming from genetics, right? These genetic diagrams are used to identify what are the genotype of these people and how we can avoid continuation of the disease within the family. Avoiding getting children born with the disease, right? So unaffected female, unaffected means no disease, unaffected male, female with the disease, male with the disease. Right, now the first question is, for each of the statement, the female who definitely has homozygous genotype. So homozygous is both genes should be same. For example, if it is capital T, or simple T, simple T. This is homozygous. The female who definitely has a homozygous genotype. Okay, we need a little bit more information. The beginning of the question, this one also written. This genetic disease example of recessive genetic disorders. That means if it is like this, the person has these simple versions and they get the disease. Tay-Sachs disease is another example of recessive genetic disease. That means if the genotype is simple T, then the person has a genetic disease.
So,
The person with capital T simple T, they don't have a disease, right?
That can answer to the others.
Because capital T is the dominant one. Simple T is silence. It can't do anything. So here no, and here yes. Right, what would be the, in this genetic diagram, what is then definitely a female with homozygous genotype? Yeah, Jane is the, yes, here is the answer, right? This should be simple T, simple T. Next question. The female whose genotype cannot be identified from the diagram means a female whose genetic genotype cannot be identified. No, it is like this. If a Jane is simple T, then the parents should have at least one allele simple T. Otherwise, it never comes, right? So this should be capital T simple T, capital C simple T. Because if it is simple T, they have the disease. That is not the that's not the case because they don't have a disease. And the children have the disease, that means simple T should be there. So only this combination, they get this 20% chance having simple T. Right? And the Sarah married Peter. So if the Sarah married Peter, then they also have a simple T. Then the Sarah is capital T, simple T. This is capital T. So if we take this family now, what is the combinations? Capital T, capital T, capital T, simple T, capital T, simple T, simple T, simple T. Okay, this is fine. We can see this as a disease. But these three genotypes, rest of the genotypes, they have a capital T or capital T, simple T. This belongs to these two. They are from this category. If they are from this category, we can't see whether it's a capital T, simple T. Then this one, the female, we don't know what is the genotype. It could be capital T, or capital T, simple T. Right? So then the answer is Lily. Okay, next question. A male who definitely has heterozygous genotype is we said this is capital T, simple T, capital T, simple T. This is simple T, simple T. This should be capital T, simple T. This is capital T, simple T. Otherwise, it never gets this version. And these two we cannot find the genotypes, right? So then it should be Adrian, right? Peter and Adrian is a heterozygous. So Adrian, according to this, Adrian is the right version. Okay, male who definitely is homozygous dominant is. Homozygous dominant is, it should be capital T, capital T. Adrian, we can't take capital T, simple T. Dan, Dan is simple T, simple T. Max, we don't know. None of them. So it should be Max or none of them, right? Because Max, they should be a capital T, simple T.
There are four possibilities.
Yeah. So this should be, I mean, Max is also maybe correct, but we can't say definitely. So then I think none of them is the correct answer.
This slide,
Hmm?
the earlier slide, I think just write something.
Yeah, I will send the WhatsApp everything, right?
Oh,
All the notes to it. Because
so
this,
is it my phone for my number or something?
I add you to the group. I will add you to the group because your father is there.
Yeah.
Then,
Did you at least?
huh? Not yet. Okay. There is a question I think you can do at home after this. There is a question. Yeah. Definitely next week we can finish it. But I will also another things we need to understand before finish this. Autosome and homogrammatic heterogrammatic.
So on Tuesday we have the paper class or the
Only for you and Sanjun. I mean, I can have a paper class only for you and Sanjun because others no point of coming because they are not sitting for this major.
well, so we can finish this in this.
Then Thursday?
Yeah, so by Thursday.
No. Another class and we can finish it.
Oh.
Only we need one class, then it's finished. Because we keep the Thursday as a regular class, and only for you and Sanjun, at least I can show you some method that you can maximize your marks. Because it's very short period available, we can't do so many things.
Yeah.
Like something I can show you techniques that to maximize the marks during the exam. But the most of the time, these days it's very hard to have online class because of the power cut and also you know the thundering and showering. It's heavy showers come and the heavy thundering start because afternoon especially we have these showers now. So it's very difficult, but on the other hand, like Sanjun anyway, the public transport is not, today is not Existing, he can't come.
I could come last time, sir, because my dad, his vehicle to from Madras. Yeah, that's
The best would be to have a physical class. So they have many advantages. Not like online class is very hard. That we have a Sanjun ඉන්නවද නැද්ද දන්නේ නැහැ. Because I mean you are there, but yes, but interactions and doubts and questions you can talk. All these things is limited. Right?
It's distracting, sir, when everyone makes it at home.
Yes. Exam, the unit 1 paper is on 9. Yeah. So there will be only one class. We can have Tuesday class, and then the Thursday anyway syllabus is just few things. Okay, last thing to finish, the genetics, and then there is a genetic disorders and screening is coming. If you look all the human chromosomes, we can see 46 chromosomes organized into 23 pairs. Out of the 23 pairs, we could notice one special, it's called X and Y. Right, this is called X and Y. Now these two chromosomes decide the gender of a person. So we call it sex determination chromosomes. Right? And when they want to decide the male or female, that's fine. They will take care of this chromosome that use it. But in addition to that, if you look at the X chromosome, it's bigger than the Y chromosome. So X chromosome has additional genes which is nothing to do with sex determination. They will also decide other characters. Because of that, we have a special flow of the genes when the genes are located on the X chromosomes. So then we call it sex-linked chromosomes. Right? We will take one example and see how it works, right? So we will take for that a disease, right? So if the gene is changed, this comes as a disease, genetic diseases, right? One of the genetic disease is it's called hemophilia. Hemophilia. In hemophilia, the problem is delayed blood clotting. Or some kind of a bleedings. The people experience bleeding and delayed blood clotting. And the gene is located on X chromosome. Right? Then let's say a female has two X chromosomes. That's the sex determination. Male has X and Y. If the hemophilia gene is located here, the male is healthy, right? Because the problem comes with the recessive one, simple H. The male is healthy, female is also healthy, right? Because capital H is there, then they can make the right gene. If they marry and the children get this combination, capital X, capital H is the gamete, capital X, simple H is the gamete, and here capital X, H is the gamete, Y is the gamete. And they get X capital H, and X capital H, simple H, X capital H, Y, X simple H, Y. Now you can notice this one developed the disease. It's a male. So male has more chances to get the disease, and this female is called carrier. This gene is carried, and the male is healthy, but male children get chance having this because male has only one chromosome, X chromosome. X chromosome has the gene. If it is simple H, no chance they get the disease. Another condition is called color blindness, like a red and green. Difficult to identify red and green color as another condition. Mostly males are affected. Right? Yes, can you copy this down under the sex link page?
Some people like posting different pictures saying it's green but it's real red. They like try to confuse us saying we got color blindness.
Yes, it's like this. I will show you.
So is it like they see red as green and green as red? Or they don't see any of it?
Well, it's like this. If you see this, now it's not clear here. Just okay. This is generally test given to identify the red and green color blindness, and if the person can identify the number here, that's fine. But if I look at this number, I don't see a number. Because I have a problem with identifying red and green color. Most of the males are affected. I don't know, Sanjun, can you see the number?
So you can't see it? Yeah, it's 74.
Sanjun, can you see a number? Yes? What is the number? Can you see? 74. 74, right? I will send this all these things, right?
So can you see the red part too?
No, I see only the red and green dots, but I can't see the number.
The red green dots. Oh.
Some
Okay.
green dots in the